Well, today is Friday. They've got a hurricane down there in Florida. I hope everybody's okay with it. It's supposed to hit Labor Day. So I suspect that that's going to be Monday. Just thought I'd get some watch hours in. See if somebody comes up. Only been on here a couple of minutes. Be more than glad to have you. We're not going to talk about anything that's absolutely important. We did a Grizz mail here. All right. Everybody's working, I suppose. Okay. Talk about whatever you want. Whatever you want. Hello, whoever's watching. You're welcome to come up. Hello, whoever's watching. Oh. There you go. Got that fixed. You're welcome to come up. There's two. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Lost one. Seems to be a beautiful day out there today here. It's only 73 degrees. That's like sweatshirt weather for this place. Usually it's close to 100. Two watching, good morning. Be glad to have you in the chat or the panel. It'd be a whole lot easier for you to come up if I post the link. And I can fix that. There you go. There's your link if you'd like to come up. Come up and talk to me. Got two people watching. Good morning. Like I just said, it's 73 degrees. It's beautiful. We don't have the hurricane here. Sorry about Florida. Nice place to visit if they don't have a hurricane. If nothing else, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe, please. We can get out and do some videos of some sort just to make some content. Today's Friday, Fish Friday at Senior Citizen. I don't eat it down there. I go get it and bring home. Eat it. $4. Sometimes they have baked beans, coleslaw, one piece of fish. They have baked beans right out of the can like Mom used to make. I have worked on Maytag washing machines before. I feel like the Maytag repairman, the loneliest YouTuber in town. Got two people watching. No chatters. No talkers. If I don't get somebody up on the panel soon, I'm gonna start singing. I will, people. Heavenly sunshine, glory divine. I know some other songs, but I can't sing it on YouTube. I figured Marie would be on here this morning. It's 9 o'clock for her. Rosanna, it's only 6 o'clock for her. She won't be up yet. Feels quite sticky and humid here today. I don't know if we're supposed to get rain. Supposedly no rain today. Learn more. I'm looking at the weather page and got an update. How special is that? I don't like Microsoft Edge. And I don't know if anybody does. Okay. That was a waste of time opening that up. Well, it looks like we got some rain coming in from Missouri. With some effort, we'll get her. Well, it does look like they've got some rain and stuff down there in Florida. Judging by this, I can't tell if it's very bad or not. So maybe we'll have some rain here tomorrow. It always rains on Labor Day. Well, I got two people watching. I can do the live stream talking to myself. I've learned how to talk to myself back when I lived by myself for 2 or 3 years. It's not a problem to talk to yourself. It's when you disagree and you argue with each other. That seems to be a problem. But I've always won the argument, it seemed like. Oh boy. I'll be right back. I might as well go get the paper while the crowd's gathering. I'm back. If you're still there, good morning. Well, I'm not in the obituaries, so I guess I'll stay up today. It doesn't take me very long to read the paper. There's not very many pictures. I can read pictures. Whole page of nothing, just ads. We know that these places are in business. I guess if we was looking to have a gas company, Oh, we got gas. Hello, we got another guy or lady. You're welcome to come in and get on the panel. Good morning. I'm just looking at the paper. It took me about 3 minutes. Not very many pictures. Hello. Hello. Is there anybody out there? Nope. They wasn't interested. Not interested in that idiot, they said. But I do have 2 people. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for just having your page open. That helps. Adds up time. I got 20 minutes. 2 people watching. That makes 40 minutes. I'll soon have an hour here. Lowe's is a great place to buy stuff. And Menards. I always call it Menards. Menards. But they don't carry Milwaukee tools. I don't understand that. They got DeWalt and Craftsman, which is a good one. Hello. Somebody else watching me read the paper. Come on in. The water's flying. Does anybody want to come up and talk? Or do you want me to sing to you? Heavenly sunshine, glory divine. You can type in there, please stop. That'd be fine. I just got another rubber band for my rubber band ball. People say, is that a ball of yarn? No, sir. Them are all rubber bands. I get a newspaper, one a day, of course, and they have rubber bands. So as to throw them away, I started this rubber band ball. And my sister, she gets a newspaper a day and she collects them and gives them to me, and I add them to the ball. And, hey, who's up here? Aaron Willis. Hello, Aaron Willis. Hey, won't you come up on the panel? There's nobody on here. Click on that link right above your head. I'd love to see you on the panel. You click on that link and I'll accept it. Well, there's Ann Fulton. Won't you come up and talk to me? Do you see the link? It's two ahead of you. What ain't you doing? I'm not doing anything. I've been on here 30 minutes. I can't get nobody to come up on the panel. There she comes.
Yep, that's the way I look in the morning. How are you doing this morning?
Just almost perfect.
Oh, practically perfect. Well, Roy made coffee this morning, so I'm having coffee.
Is he feeling better?
Yeah, he's feeling a little better. His head, he isn't swollen up as bad.
Okay.
So, other than that, nothing else going on.
Well, I read the paper this morning. I'm not in the obituary, so I think I'm going to stay up.
All righty. Well, nobody got on trial this week because the judge was on vacation, so there won't be anything in the paper about that this week.
Did you see the show yesterday?
No, we didn't.
Okay, at the end of the show, Billy had that handkerchief, and he had it in his car. He took a picture of it and sent it to Adam. I'm waiting on you.
Oh my God!
And Adam went to he told him to go to where I guess he hit that kid.
Yeah.
And he was standing out there. He said, "Okay, here I am. Show yourself." And here comes Billy in the car, speeding, and he's going to hit him. Chloe pushes him out of the way. So we assume that he hit Chloe instead of Adam.
Oh my God!
But we didn't see that.
No.
Well,
that's the way that goes.
We just seen her push him out of the way, and she's looking in, the deer in the headlight look.
Yeah. Oh. But that's the way it always does,
This is Friday, and last night, Big Brother, they kicked off that guy. I still haven't kicked off that one woman.
Okay.
They was so down hearted to kick her off, and she's been on there through 2 times. Closer, I think. They said September the 25th was the last show.
Oh my gosh.
And the winner wins $500,000.
Just $500,000? Oh, $500,000. Okay. You would think he'd earn $1 million.
Well, I don't know. That's what it is. They know what it is coming into it. See, there's been 3 people. Now there's 4 people on the jury.
Oh, yeah.
Vote on the last person.
All righty. What's Pam doing this morning?
Nothing much.
Just hanging out, huh? I've got some more rubber bands for that ball too. I saw that. Getting pretty big.
I can't get my picture. It's like
Yeah.
it's worse than looking in a mirror.
Oh, I know. I'm having the same trouble here.
I
I
don't.
can't figure out which way to do it.
I do not like this program.
Mm-mm.
They took our other one away.
Oh, well, that's the way that is. Well, I called Frontier the other day. They sent me a bill of over $200 and some. And I said, I pay for it. It's supposed to be you pay a month in advance. I said, do you not think it's ludicrous that you've charged me for a month and 2 months and I haven't had the thing since the 8th? And you know what happened? They took me off Frontier. I am no longer, I can log in that says there's nothing hooked to this account. It's off. It's gone. So I don't know whether they just zeroed it out or what they did.
Well, it could have. Hello, Grizz. Can you not see chat? And
No, let me see if I punch that. Nope.
I took care of that. Well, Grizz, while she's trying to figure out to plug that back in,
Kicked me off. It kicks me off. I can't chat.
I cannot tell you how to do a phone and look at the same time.
No.
A lot of times people have two devices.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
My goodness. What'd you have for breakfast?
Coffee.
Yeah. Well, we're getting up. We're going to go up and have breakfast uptown, I guess. And then probably go up to the things at Palestine for a little bit.
Are you going to the Rididio?
No, we don't do that. Mm-mm. Oh, my goodness, there's Grizz.
Hey, Ann, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Hey, Kim. Hey, yeah, I just thought I'd hop up here and tell you how you can read chat on here.
Oh,
Okay, now if you notice, my picture is going to disappear. You'll see an icon up there. There's no picture of the icon, but that's what happens. You won't be on camera if you bring up chat, but this is what happens. Now, at the bottom of my phone, there's a little arrow key that hits back. There's an arrow key that minimizes the windows, and then there's like a 3-line deal, and that will show what page you have open. I click on that, and then I click on the one that shows the YouTube link where chat is. Now, see, you can still hear me, and I have the chat reading on up here. It says, Kim,
I see that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's okay. I can read chat if you type it slow.
Yeah.
but that's how you read chat, for when you're on camera.
Yeah. So how's the weather out there this morning?
It's overcast, but it's not supposed to rain today. We had some rain yesterday morning. We're going to get some more rain on Sunday, but it's overcast. It's in about the 80s, the lower to mid 80s. So the weather is pretty good the last couple of days, but our humidity has gone up a lot higher.
Oh my, that's what kills you is that humidity.
Yeah, but I can handle that somewhat as long as the humidity is, it's when it gets in the 90s and it's humid that I can't handle it anymore.
Yeah. I see you've got coffee this morning too.
Oh yeah, I got to have my coffee every morning.
Yeah.
Show her your cup, Grizz.
Oh yeah, this
said, shut up and listen.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Have a cup of shut up and listen. It's well seasoned. It was supposed on this side here. The cup that was supposed to have my picture, my black and white picture of me by the sawmill. Supposed to have that on this cup, but it was their mistake, and Yeah, I just never sent the cut back to have them recorrected or anything. I should have, but I didn't.
Well, I'm going to get off here because I've got to get cleaned up and as you see, comb my hair.
Hey, get a hat like I got. That takes care of the hair.
Yeah, that'll do it.
My hair this morning, it's still a little wet.
Yeah.
It'll cough up.
All righty. You guys have a good day.
We'll see you later, Ann.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's cool that you got her up here, Kim.
Yeah, she didn't see anybody, so she
So she hopped up.
get up here. She been getting up here 2 or 3 times.
Oh, cool. I miss those live streams.
Well, I'll get her into it.
Oh, yeah. So what's on your agenda today?
Pretty much what I did yesterday.
I hear you.
I didn't do anything. Pam said, that's what you did yesterday. I know, but I wasn't done.
And my daughter's got an appointment up in Portland today with the ear doctor. And so my wife and daughter are going up there today.
Boy, that's a crazy place up there. At least you don't have to go to Seattle.
Oh, yeah, no. I haven't been to Seattle for man, I think the last time I was in Seattle was in the 70s. Maybe no, in the 80s. When I came back from Alaska was the last time I was in Seattle.
Well, when we went up there to see Rosanna, I didn't realize that we could drive in the far left lane because you got to have 2 people. Well, I can read that you got to have 2 people, but I didn't realize that it was for us also.
Yeah.
But she educated us on that. And when we was coming back, boy, we got over in that left lane and hammered down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we didn't speed, but we drove 50, 55, And over here to the right, the traffic was stopped. And we just kept buzzing. We made good time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they call that the commuting lane or something like that, or
OH something.
Yeah, I can't remember it.
OHM or something like that. I'm sure I got it wrong. But anyhow, it's for carpooling. You got to have people in the car.
I don't know if they still have this up there, but years ago they used to have a deal where they had a section of the freeway where in the mornings these 2 lanes or 3 lanes were all one way. It was like all going south, let's say. You got on that section of the freeway and all the traffic was going south on that section of the freeway. But in the afternoons, it would reverse. So basically, it was like what they had was they had 2 lanes of the freeway going north, 2 lanes of the freeway going south, and they had 2 other lanes in the middle. And those lanes would switch back and forth, which had the heaviest traffic. So in the afternoon, everybody was going home. They would switch that section of the freeway to where the southbound lanes would be a 4-lane then, basically. And the northbound would be 2-lane, and then they'd reverse it in that, from morning to afternoon, it'd reverse back and forth. It was kind of weird.
Now, I don't know if that's what was going on, but there would be in one place there that it would veer you off to the far left and separate you altogether. You'd just be on a lane all by yourself.
Yeah. I think that was it.
Before you would be right beside the heavy traffic, and you going down through there 60 or whatever, and these people are stopped, it's kind of scary. You're thinking, wow, if somebody gets a wild hair, they want to come out here in this lane. It's going to be hammer time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that was the same deal because I think to run those 2 center lanes, I think that's the commuter lane where you have to have it used to be you had to have 4 people in the car, but then they dropped it down to 2.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, see, I didn't understand how it worked, but I had it figured out.
But hey, you have to admit, it sure was nice coming out west where they didn't have no tolls.
Oh yeah.
Now, to me, see, that's the way I think all of our public roadways should be. It's no toll bridges. I mean, hey, that's I just don't comprehend having tolls. They're
Well,
un-American.
Okay, now we got a stretch of highway down here south of us called the Penny Raw. And they built it. All right. So they put in toll booths until they got enough money to pay for it, I guess, because there's no toll booths down there now. They took them out. And I don't know how many years they was, 5, 10 years, whatever. But that's why they had to toll. And I don't have a problem with that. Now, people that travel that road all the time would, yes.
Yeah, but it seems to me like there could be a different way to collect the tax on it somehow, some way. I mean, to bring traffic to a stop to pay a toll every 20 miles seems ridiculous to me.
Well, now, how would you want them to collect it? You want them to collect it from you when you're not using the road at all?
A gas tax. That's what we do here. We have a gas tax. So when you buy gasoline, you're paying to use the roadways.
Yeah.
And the more people that buy gas, the more taxes paid. The more taxes paid, the more that they can do to upgrade and add new roads if they need to or whatever.
And then you're paying for that guy to come out there and pump your gas that's not needed.
Yeah, but I kind of like that.
I do not. I mean, I guess I'm spoiled. I've always pumped my gas. There was very few when I was growing up a few years back, I don't know, 20 years ago, there was very few gas stations that pumped and checked the air and oil and all that. I do all that. I do all that myself. Of course, he didn't want to check oil or windows or anything like that. He just wanted to stand there and do what I could have done.
Well, we do have some gas stations out here in Oregon that are like Texaco has a series of them, and I can't remember the different companies that have them. There's like 2 or 3 of them. But anyway, with they're card pumps. And there's no attendance there at these gas stations at all. There's no, they're open 24/7. Nobody there is monitoring them or anything. But it's a card pump that you can just drive up and you can pump your own gas, and they have a little machine that distributes motor oil if you need to get motor oil and different stuff. So you can do the self-service if you get, if a person living on out here can do that. There all are alternatives, and now for the last year they've incorporated a new law that we're in the big cities and stuff. Now, I don't know if it's been turned over or not since, because I haven't heard nothing on it. But I do know, not this last January, but the January before, they made it where bigger populated areas, like such as Portland and stuff, can have gas stations that are self-serve only. So I mean, it's not, the whole state isn't necessarily, but in lower populated areas where it's more recessed and they're they're trying to keep the jobs, keep jobs for lower skilled people. They keep it to where they still have to have somebody pump the gas.
And that be Sweet Home.
That be Sweet Home is one of them.
Yep.
Actually, no. Actually, here in Sweet Home, we could have our gas stations go to um, self-serve. Actually, the population here is high enough where we don't have to do that. Sweet Home has opted to stay with pumping. Everybody, required to pump the gas.
Well, when you leave your house and you go into Sweet Home on the left-hand side, not very far, there's a real arrogant SOB that works there.
It's a gas station.
Yes.
I can't remember the name of I know the one that it's just a little tiny island in the middle or something like that there where they have the person that runs it.
Yeah,
There's no store, right?
There was 2 islands. And
Right,
no
there's 2
store.
islands, and
No store.
one had a little tiny hole in it where it was the office.
Right.
Yeah, that started out as fast gas. I don't know what it is. I haven't been into. I couldn't go into that place. I couldn't stand that place.
I can't remember the name of it. But I went to the one on down on the right-hand side. Of course, I was coming the other direction. And it said 307 on the pump or on the sign, and I pulled in there and the pump said 315. Well, heck with that. So I pulled out and I went down and that one said 307. So I pulled in there, same deal, 315. I couldn't even get out of the car. He was standing right there. I said, why does that say 315? That's with a card. If you want to pay cash, it's 307.
Yeah.
I said, well, I have cash, but I want to keep my cash.
Yeah, they charge you for using a card here.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind to play the game if I understand the rules.
Right. And that's basically out here. That's where all the gas stations are. All the gas stations, when they showed the price, that's the gas. That's the cash price.
Yes.
And so I mean that's pretty much understandable to us. It's normal for us to go through that. But yeah, I can see where somebody that's not where like like if on the East Coast they were publishing it as the card price, and then all of a sudden you use your cash money and they give you a discount. That'd be like totally awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now I just told you what the price of fuel down there was when I was there, 315. What is it now?
I just filled up about a week ago. I only get gas about every 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. I think it was like 258.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's down.
Here in town, in Lawrenceville, it's like 263. The other day we went to Evansville and it was 238.
Oh wow, that's cheap.
But that's an hour away.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't afford to drive down there and get it. But if you're there,
yeah,
back up before you come home. Even if it's a quarter of a tank, top it off.
Oh man, smoking is glamorous.
Yeah, I kind of miss that. Getting up, trying to cough up a lung. Yeah, I quit in 1989, Grizz. I know I've told you that, and you're probably sick of hearing it, but
damn quitters.
I'm quite proud of myself that I was able to do it.
Oh hell yeah!
But the thing of it is, I don't have to have a cigarette to survive and live, but I have to have some food to live.
Yeah,
so it's hard to quit eating as much. If I don't ever smoke a cigarette, I don't crave it. But I think, well, I'm gonna cut back, and then I eat, and then I get hungry. Hello, loader man. You're welcome to come up. I've never seen you on my panel, but you're welcome to give her a shot.
Yeah, I like our full service. Well, not full service, but it's not self service here. I do enjoy that because a lot of times I can get the gas pump, and there's times when I just can't hardly get out of the car. So it's nice to have somebody else available. And I've noticed that when I go to California, most of the gas stations are self service down there, and there ain't nobody there to pump gas for you. If you need, you have to find the gas station where they do have somebody on hand that will pump your gas, and then you got to pay more for it. But I mean,
now when I was traveling, Grizz, I see your point with your back, but when I was traveling, by the time I needed gas, I needed to get out.
You needed to get out. Yeah, I hear you.
And when we was traveling, oh, you're preparing for the hurricane in Florida, loader man said.
Good luck with that.
Stay safe, man.
Hey, I hear Trump's going to nuke that thing to get rid of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. See how that works for him.
Actually, you know what? I thought it was a pretty good suggestion to look into if there was a way to do something like that. It's worthy of looking at it into. Is there an option? But we all know that it couldn't be done nuclearly. Why? That'd be too much fallout, But
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
the idea of, what about hydrogen? Hydrogen bomb in there to break it up, or just who knows what it could have been.
Well, I was watching the news, and maybe I don't understand, okay? So I could be wrong. But they're standing in the Lowe's getting their plywood and stuff. It looks like people down there would have an outbuilding, a garage, something, buy that plywood in advance, get it cut, mark it, goes to the west window,
Right.
mark it, have it ready to go where all you got to go out there is slap it up. Hello, chocolate mint. Good morning. And they have knew that this storm was going to come in probably a week and a half ago. Go fill up your car. Take a gas can. Go fill it up.
Yeah, I don't understand that mentality down there where every year they're swamped. They sell out all their plywood, just boom, boom, boom. Every year. It's like none of them say that and say, okay, I can reuse this. I can paint it up good, and I can protect the plywood. I can have plywood does not take that much room to store.
No.
You're going to have a spot to put it in the garage. You might take up six inches of your garage. So what?
But if you
I don't understand the mentality.
But if you go ahead while it's good weather and you're not pressed for time, measure it out, cut it to fit to the window, and mark it where it goes and store that in your garage. And you don't have to do it all in one day,
And all these storms keep on coming year after year after year. So you got to go through it every single year.
Oh yeah. And if you're gonna live down there, which I don't have a problem with that, it's a beautiful place to live. Be ready.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree. Get the gas early. Keep your tank full. If when that storm is a coming, just every time you go to town, top off the gas tank.
Exactly. Now, I don't let mine get much below a half a tank, especially in the summertime. because you're putting cold gas in a tank and then it gets hot and it condensates, and that's where you get your moisture. And I don't do it. Okay. I mean, I do that. But what I'm getting ready to say, I don't do it, but a person should buy some treatment or heat or something for water and put it in your tank at least once a month.
I do that about 2 or 3 times a year. I'll put some heat in my tank. You know, I don't do it once a month. Probably should do it more often than I do. And I let my tank go down to a quarter of a tank, not because so much of the water, but because of but more because the lower the tank gets, your tank gets dirty in time. Let's face it. And then the lower the gas, the less gas that's on in there, the more debris that's in with that volume of gas, where you have more chance of plugging things on up. So I don't like to let my gas tank get down below a quarter of a tank because of that reason. But you know what really causes the biggest amount of water is the gas that we're getting nowadays. So if you get non-ethanol, you don't have near the problem. But when you get the ethanol gas, I mean that puts out a lot more condensation.
Yeah. Chocolate mint, that's a great idea. She's got a storage room full of food and supplies. I'm ready. Party time.
Yeah.
Now, we don't store a lot of food. We have canned goods and stuff like that. But I got a storage tank right here.
Well, we just store up our food just because, you know, from the garden stuff, and then when we get things on sale, just to save us money, not for any other reason. But when a storm comes or something, that's pretty handy. But we don't have those kind of storms very often here.
Oh no, you don't have nothing like Florida or the
No.
East Coast. No, sir.
No, nothing like that.
Well, me and Pam was talking the other day how we grew up and we had 2 huge gardens. I mean, and we grew everything under the sun. Sweet potatoes, corn, tomatoes, green beans, all that stuff, and canned and snipped and what have you. And the first time I got married, which Pam's my third, I told her, I said, now this is how it is. If we can't afford to go to the store and buy it or buy canned goods, we are going to starve. Because back then you could go buy a can of beans, green beans, corn, baked beans, whatever, for 38 cents. You can't can. Okay, now maybe you can. I'm not arguing with you. But to me, I can't can goods for 38 cents. By the time I heat up the kitchen, buy the cans, clean the cans, you know, and that is your choice, and you know I'm all for it.
See, here's the deal. Actually, canning is pretty cheap once you're set up with it. If you're having to buy jars all the time and lids and rings and stuff like that, but see, we reuse all of our lids and everything. People say you can't do it, but we reuse the lids, you know, 4, 5, 6 times, you know, and they'll still seal every single time. On occasion, we'll get a lid when a lid that's been used, when it doesn't seal, then I will dispose of it. But that don't happen very often. So we basically once we have the equipment, from there on out, it's just the produce that we get from the garden and the salt that we got to buy, and you know, different stuff like that, the lemon juice and whatever it may be. I got to let the chickens on out here, but whatever it may be, we're already set up for it, so it's pretty cheap. But that's not where the biggest expense is to canning. Especially for somebody that's working, the biggest expense to canning is the time involved in it. And so you look at when we're canning, you look at the time, that not even counting the planting of the garden, the weeding, the watering, and all that stuff. But you look at the time of getting out there and harvesting it. You know, spend a half hour out in the garden, pick a bunch of tomatoes, coming on in with about 6 or 8 quarts of tomatoes to can up. Well, you already got a half hour into that. And if you just pay yourself $12 an hour minimum wage here, you're already into these, 5 or 6 quarts for
You don't
for
pick
$6 for a half hour, and then you got 2 or 3, 4 hours of prep time and canning it up. You're up to like $2 a quart.
Yeah, but
in labor.
you
In
don't
labor, so
your time.
yeah, so if you count in your time, it's not worth it. But the difference is when you open up.
Real quick, chocolate mints.
Pardon?
I could live 3 years off my storage, and I rotate it and keep it fresh. And that is absolutely right, chocolate mint. I agree, and that works for you. But see, I don't have the area that Grizz does to raise a garden. I'm trying to grow grass, and I would like to have a tomato plant where I could get a few fresh tomatoes. But even at that, I can buy them off of Johnny Smith, but I haven't seen him but one time this year. And if I buy 5 tomatoes, okay, I don't eat that many. They last me until they go bad,
Yeah.
But yeah, Grizz, you enjoy it. That's your entertainment. That's the way you like to do it.
Yep. That's what it's about. And not only that is
problem with that.
Not only that, when you open up a jar of our string beans that we canned on up and eat those, and you compare them with a can of string beans that you buy at the store, there's a huge difference in flavor to me. I mean, I personally believe that there's a lot more nutritional value that I'm getting in my tomato sauce, string beans, everything that I can on up, because I'm letting it vine ripen, and they're not doing that.
I absolutely agree with you. I will not dispute you a bit. But the thing of it is, my back, my feet, my legs, I can't get out there and do it like I did back when I was 20.
Exactly.
That's
why I rely so much on my wife and daughter to help on the garden and stuff, because I can't do it all anymore.
But yes, you are absolutely right, and I agree with you.
And not only that, we do love, like last night, now it was completely a vegetarian meal, but to me it was delicious. We pulled some potatoes and boiled them on up, put some butter and sour cream on them, salt and pepper, and picked some green beans from the garden and steam cooked them, and some summer squash. We cooked them and steam cooked them or fried them on up. Just made an all vegetable dinner last night from the garden, all fresh picked and everything. Sliced fresh tomatoes with it, and man, it just, the flavors of that food just fresh from the garden just made a hell of a meal.
That's absolutely right. Chocolate Mint said, when my daughter got married and moved out, I turned that bedroom into a storage. Yeah, that's great. But I'll tell you something that you got to look at. Back then, we had 10, 2, and 7 on the TV, all right? And there was only a couple of shows that we could watch. So what I'm getting at, we'd go out there and pick a bushel of green beans or something like that, and we sat down as a family and snipped them. Well, what was we doing? We was talking and, visiting. We wasn't working on a cell phone, wasn't watching YouTube, which I love YouTube, but times are different.
Well, we didn't even have a TV growing on up, but now I know that if we had a TV, that it would have still been the same deal. either way, because I mean, every evening we'd sit in the living room during the summer months. We'd just sit in the living room, and if it was pea shelling time, shelling a bunch of peas, we'd be all laughing and joking and talking and shelling peas, while we're visiting, and telling about our day or whatever, or snapping green beans, or just whatever we was going through, getting ready to can the next day. I mean, so it was a family deal, and it brought us all together. And if we had had a TV, I'm sure we would have had a movie going or whatever. And we had been watching the movie, doing the same stuff, though. I mean, but it was still been family time.
Chocolate Mint said that Hurricane Charlie, that one scared me. And I don't remember, but when the wind blows, that would scare me.
Well,
Because we were talking on the weather last night, 85-mile-an-hour winds. Wow.
Well, you remember out here at Foster Lake when you're going from my house to town, on the left-hand side, just as you come in, by the lake, there was that big mill there. I think it's
maybe. Go ahead.
It's Murphy's sawmill. It's a big mill. It used to be a warehouse there. Before it was warehouse there, it was Willamette. There's a big mill there. Now, it's been a few years back now. I think about 15, 20 years ago, about 15 years ago. But we had I don't know what kind of a storm it was. It wasn't a hurricane. It wasn't a tornado. But we had a swath of wind that come through here. Just a narrow. There's a swath of wind that comes shooting on in. Was only maybe 30 miles wide. I mean, it didn't cover the whole state, but it was about a 30-mile wide swath of wind that just shot up through here. It snapped every single one of those telephone poles off. I mean, took them clear to the ground. Several of them all in a row. They said that in order to shear those telephone poles the way they did, it had to have been at least 140-mile-an-hour wind.
Oh my God!
Yeah, so we do get some storms here. We just don't get them every year. I mean, every 5 or 10 years we'll have a really bad storm of some sort, but not every year.
Well, now I might be very wrong, but it looks like to me, in where you're actually living, you would be kind of protected.
Sweet Home is protected from a lot of the weather that the valley gets, because the ways that the hills are wrapped around here. We are the weather. Actually, most of the weather patterns usually move around us. However, right where we're at, this is the funnel of a canyon type of deal going on up Quartzville. And so we do get a lot of wind through here.
But I'm talking about your actual place. The trees would kind of protect you unless they blew them down.
Right. Yeah, well, that's the deal. When we had that 120, 140-mile-an-hour wind storm that I was telling you about, when that storm came on in, we had some of the trees that you're talking about over here behind the shop. They were bending clear on over, but then they'd come right back on up. We didn't lose a single tree, but I mean, it was horrible. But I mean, it was really scary. And I said, okay, I got to get my wife and daughter on out of here. We got to get, because this is just a cheap trailer house. It's going to blow over or something. We hopped in the car and was going to head towards town, but there was trees all across the road. We couldn't go anywhere. So I drove across to the campground over here and got in a big parking lot. And over there where we parked there, I could see the wind, a little bit away, but right where we parked, there was no wind. There was a pile of leaves, that they had raked up and put in the middle of the parking lot that was about 4 or 5 foot tall. They weren't even blowing around, so we found this little, this little area that was really protected, that wasn't getting any of the wind.
Loader Man says, yep, I remember Charlie. That one ripped shingles off the house. And I don't remember the a storm is bad. I don't care.
Mhm. Well,
we got six
we
people
pretty much
watching. If anybody would like to come up and talk to me and Grizz, we'd welcome you.
we pretty much get a pretty good storms here every year, and a lot of the storms are hurricane force winds, but they're not hurricanes. You know, the difference between a hurricane and a storm. You know, a hurricane is going in a circle. We don't ever get our storms never come in circles. They just come straight on in. But we do get the hurricane force winds.
Where we're at, they call this Tornado Alley.
Mm-hmm.
And right here where we was at, I had just put shingles on the house. Well, I didn't put them on there. I had two guys I knew put them on, and I paid them. But we put the heritage dimensional shingles. Well, we had hail, and it tore the heck out of the shingles around. But it didn't hurt ours because we had just put them on. And we looked at them. They've been good. But the house right next to us, they had damage, on their shingles, and they put a metal roof on. Now that's okay, but I don't live in a pole barn. I don't want a metal roof. Now this Honest Abe, and of course there's other places that have it too. They have metal roofing that looks like shingles. I don't know how that would be, but I kind of like the idea of that. I like what they look like.
Yeah, they also have them that look like a tile roof too.
Okay.
Yeah, they have some interesting metal roofs that don't, the first time I seen a tile roof made out of metal, was that was back in the early '80s down in California, and for a long time I didn't know it was I seen the roof. I always thought, oh, it's a typical Spanish tile roof. It wasn't until several years later somebody told me, no, that's a metal roof. So I had to stop and go ask people, go look at the roof, and yeah, it was a metal roof. But just driving by, you sure wouldn't have noticed it.
Well, back in the day, they used to put clay tile. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, it looked like a clay tile roof,
okay,
but it was a metal roof. Big sheets of metal. But had the shape of the tiles all on there. You put it up just like regular metal roof.
Well, what I'm talking about is pieces. The metal shingles, they're individual pieces. And I'm
Okay.
not sure how they put them on, but used to, when they put the clay tile on, they would put furring strips and they just laid there. Now, I don't know if they nailed anything. They just laid on there.
They just laid on there. They would nail there would be on a tile roof. They nail on the edge pieces around the perimeter, in a couple rows at the bottom, and everything else is just pretty much laid on.
And we don't have any big trees right here close to the house. Thank God. There was a big tree right here on the east side of our property, and a big chunk of it fell between our neighbors, between our house and the neighbor's house. It just looked like God took a hand and laid that tree right down the middle.
Man.
Now, it caused a lot of damage on the neighbor's house, and it ripped some siding off of my house. So I actually come out of it pretty easy, because I had just put siding on this house, and they gave me enough for the whole side of the house.
Oh, wow.
Well, all I had to do was go to the lumberyard and get about 7 pieces of shingles and cut them in there and fit them back, and you can't even tell it.
Yeah. Well, that's a good insurance company you had there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Loader Man says all the chainsaws are sharp and ready to go.
Awesome. What chainsaws does he have? Steel 044? That's what I'd like to have.
Loader Man, answer Grizz's question. What kind of chainsaw you got? Put it in the chat and I'll read it for him.
I just got 3 little chainsaws. I got two 29s and I got an 126.
Okay, Loader Man says he's got a propane generator. Is the best because nothing gets gummed up and you can store propane for years. But that doesn't tell him about the chainsaw.
Yeah, I agree with him on the propane generators. And you can take a regular gas generator and switch it over to propane. You know, take the carburetor off and rework it. You know, do different things. But they don't have the. They don't put out the. It takes a bigger motor to put out the power though with propane.
Okay, got your answer, Grizz. I have
Okay.
a scale 038 Super AV, a S or MS 390, and a 2, 025, S. You want me to repeat that?
No, I know what those are. That 39, man, that's a nice saw. I'm jealous. Now that 25 is basically equivalent to my 26.
Okay. I'll tell you what we have, and Pam had it before we met. She's got a little electric one. Now, I wouldn't want to take it out there and cut a big log like what you got, but she had a log when she lived out at her home. She had a log or limb, a big limb that was about 6 inches in diameter. All right. And it fell across the road. And I took that electric chainsaw out of there and it just cut like butter.
Oh, those electric chainsaws are great. You know, when I was working construction, I always kept electric chainsaws. You know, the corded, not the battery ones. I always had those cheap, you know, whatever cheapest ones you could get. I'd buy those for the construction site because you know, if you had a big old beam you wanted to whack on down so you could manage to move it because you're going to cut it up into headers or something. It worked great for that stuff. I mean, or if you got in a demolition job and you was just you know, tearing a whole bunch of stuff on out, fire up that electric chainsaw and you know, whack everything out of the way. They work great.
But I've also got a battery operated Sawzall. And I'll tell you what, I really like that. Because you can take that blade and you don't have to worry about getting it in the dirt. You know, if you tear up the blade, you've lost $2.
Yep.
And you don't have to sharpen it. Throw it away and get another one.
Yeah, I have a battery operated DeWalt Sawzall. I'm not overly fond of it, but I'm spoiled with my Milwaukee Super Sawzall that has you know, oscillating. You know, it does different things on the blade. It makes it cut better. Has more power.
Well, mine are Milwaukee, okay? And the only reason why I got my Milwaukee, because it was on sale at the lumber yard, and that's what I bought.
And Milwaukee makes great tools, including their battery operated tools they're really good. They make a good quality tool.
And what I really like about the batteries, they don't just run weak, okay? They have as much power at the start to the finish.
Yeah.
And they will run until they're dead. You'll be cutting, you got full power, and then boom.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, it's dead. But I've got 3 batteries. So you just swap it out, go put that one on charge. You're ready to go.
Yeah. No, Milwaukee makes, I think as far as I'm concerned, they make the best of the power tools, battery operated power tools.
Okay, Chocolate Man, she says I have to go. Talk to you later. Going to throw my deck furniture in the pool so it don't take anything out. Okay. Well, that putting them in the pool would be like a baffle too. It keep from blowing the water out. So yeah, that might be a good idea. It's
Yeah,
water.
that is. I never thought about putting the lawn chair, the lawn furniture in the swimming pool.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's waterproof anyhow.
Yeah. No, that's a great idea. Not only that, if something goes flying on by, I mean, it hits that water, it's not going to do damage to the lawn furniture because the water's going to slow down whatever's blew on in there.
Yep, it won't hurt your lawn furniture. She said everybody does it there.
Ah, that's a pretty cool idea.
That is a real good idea, Chocolate Man. Absolutely.
Well, them roosters are noisy over there this morning.
Did you get rid of the foxes and the skunks?
What was that?
Your foxes and skunks?
The fox are still up here, but they never show themselves anymore. I haven't seen a skunk for probably about 3 or 4 weeks. I know they're still around too, though.
Chocolate Mint said that chlorine in the pool makes the lawn furniture nice and clean.
I bet it does. Yeah, no, we haven't been having. I mean, there's still plenty of fox and skunks around here. I mean, we're not trying to eliminate them, but they haven't. We've got a little bit more strict about getting the chicken coop locked up at nighttime.
Now, I have not seen them here, but they claim that we have a lot of skunks and raccoons here in our town.
But they're nocturnal.
They're what?
They're nocturnal.
What's that mean?
They're night animals. They don't come out during the daytime.
Oh, okay. Okay, Chocolate Mint. God bless to you. Now, I'm not going to say this to dispute you, and it's been several years ago. A block north of our house, and I don't know how many, I didn't count them, but our, the gutters, the storm gutter, I seen a whole bunch of coons run down into that storm sewer just a block away from the house.
Oh yeah, and you'll see skunks during the
daytime. That was in the daytime. So
yeah,
what they was doing, they was hiding until night.
right. But skunks, raccoons, I have seen them around here during the daytime on occasion. I mean, just because they're mainly a nocturnal animal doesn't mean that they won't be up and about periodically during daytime for various reasons, whatever the reason may be. But the majority of their time, that they're out doing their stuff at nighttime.
But our neighbors right north of us here, the lady, she says, "Why don't you get rid of that cat?" Oh, I said, "Didn't know you had trouble." I said, "I'll give it a shot." And I had a smaller trap, and I'd go out there in the morning and it'd be tripping, nothing. So I bought me a bigger one, okay? And I set it and I covered it with like a welcome mat, And Pam, she said, "You got your cat, but you better go look at it." And I had caught a coon in that trap. And he reached up there and he just shredded that rug, that welcome mat, hold it down in there. Oh my heavens. I had a heck of a time. I cut and pulled and tugged and what have you. And if you're wondering what did I do with him, I took him for a car ride and I released him into woods south of town, about 10 miles away.
Yeah.
So I did not hurt him. Catch and release.
That's we have kind of an odd law here in Oregon. It's if you're having problems with raccoons, skunks, whatever it may be, coyotes, fox, unless you have a trapper's license and trapping in season, you can't dispose of them per se. Okay, so somebody like me that is not a trapper, and if I have a problem with a raccoon or a skunk or whatever, and whether it's season or not, I can legally trap this animal. But that animal that I legally trapped, I cannot take it out away from here and release it.
Well,
you can't. Once you trap it, what's that?
It probably is the same here, but other than telling you on here, I didn't put it on Facebook and all that. I just
Right.
did.
Yeah, we can dispose of them. We can shoot them in the trap. But my point is, then why am I trying to capture the thing humanely if I'm just going to shoot it anyway?
Well,
but they have those laws. The reason why they have that law where you can't take it and relocate it is because if there's an outbreak of a disease in your area for that critter, you might be transporting a disease to a different area for these other ones to pass on the disease. So that's why they don't like you relocating them.
Okay. Well, I didn't want to trap it. That's not what I was trapping. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, you was going for a cat.
I wasn't going to turn him loose here. I already had him. I didn't want to hurt him, and I didn't. I just got part of the rug tore out,
Mm-hmm.
and put him in the back of the car and took him down. I don't know how many miles, maybe 5 miles, to an area that had woods. I set him on the road, opened the door. I did not even have to say scat. He was gone.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't want to hurt him. But since I caught him, I sure didn't want to turn him loose back here,
Oh yeah. I totally understand. I was just saying that, it's kind of an odd law. They encourage you to trap these animals, then what are you supposed to do with them? I mean, but then again, here in Oregon, it's not even legal, even during hunting season. If you have a tag, it's not legal to shoot a deer either.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, how you supposed to get him?
you're not. It's illegal to shoot a deer here in Oregon. Well, let me explain that.
Well, you're going to have to, because I don't understand that one.
Well, here in Oregon, it is illegal to shoot a deer when it's going for water. It's illegal to shoot a deer when it's drinking water, and it's illegal to shoot a deer when it's leaving its water. It's illegal to shoot a deer when it's going to go to feed. It's illegal to shoot a deer when it's feeding, and it's illegal to shoot a deer when it's leaving its feeding ground. It's illegal to shoot a deer when it's going to bed, when it's in bed, or when it's leaving its bed. Well, that's
Okay.
all these critters. That's all they do, is eat, sleep, and and drink. That's all they do. So it's illegal to shoot a deer.
Okay, here you can feed a deer, you can put a salt lick in it, have you, but you cannot do it during hunting season. So you can do all that so many days prior. You cannot feed the deer and shoot them during hunting season.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that law is here too.
Yeah. Well, even if you're not feeding them there, like we go up in the way up in the woods, where we're not putting out food plots or nothing. But if they're going to, from, or eating, drinking, or bed, you can't shoot them, and that's all they do. So it's illegal to shoot a deer. Period.
Well, how
I
are
mean,
they gonna?
we can feed the deer here. We can feed them, but whether it's hunting season or not, you can't shoot them.
Well, how could they tell different? Unless they've seen you.
Well, it's the way the law is written. It's actually that they don't enforce that law in that terms. Now, if you're not allowed to hunt over a food plot, okay?
Right.
They will get you for that. But it's not an enforceable law. What they're trying to get at is basically that you can't set up over a water hole and wait for a deer to come for water. You can go out in the woods and hunt, but there's certain ethics is what they're trying to get at.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I see that. Yeah, that'd be right. I wouldn't have a problem with that law at all.
No, I don't have a problem with it. Actually, from what I understand, I've got to look into it. I understand that they might have changed the law on the feed plots. I think they did pass a law here recently where we can put a feed plot on in and hunt over the feed plot. Now we can't set out grain or something to bring them on in, but we can plant a feed plot, and what I understand, we can hunt over that feed plot.
Okay, Chris, I will be right back. I gotta go get rid of some coffee.
Okay, well, I'm going to bring up chat, see if I can see what I can read there. Okay. Chocolate Mint's leaving. Loader Man left. Is anybody else on in here? It says only 2 people in chat. Must have been those 2 that left. I don't see anybody else chatting here. Is there anybody here? It says 2 people here. But I'm not seeing any chat going. Well, shucks, I might as well jump back to camera and wait for Kim to arrive. Let's see here. There we go. Birds are noisy.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I was on here like 30 minutes, and finally Ann came in. So
pretty slow this morning, huh?
Yeah, these people have something called a job.
Oh, jeez. Geez, we're living in the 21st century, folks. Why would we even have jobs these days? That is so old, school.
Well, you know that song, I owe so often
To work, I
go.
go. Yeah, I still say that's so old school, man. I would think that jobs would be obsolete by now.
Well, I'll tell you what, I am lucky. All right. I have been fortunate. My health hasn't been really bad. And I bought this little house on a corner lot. And I only paid $15,000 for it at the time. And of course, I've worked at a lumber yard for 40 years. And a little by little, I worked on it, put siding, windows, shutters. Made it look nice. I put 2 roofs on it in that period of time. And then I met Pam, and she put up this carport that we made into a garage. She had the carport put up, and then I put the garage doors and the work area and the loft. And then, well, maybe it was before that, we went to what they call a flower and patio show in Indianapolis, Indiana. And we seen this hot tub, and she bought it. So on the way home, I said, well, you got any idea where to put it? you know, and we come up with this area. I said, well, you bought the hot tub. I'll put a patio or a deck under. So that's what we did. And that worked out great. I love that hot tub. It's probably been cold at night. Your tub's too cold, isn't it?
It drops down to about 50 at night here. Yeah, my tub, my pool out here, I drained it here a few days ago, and I gotta wash it out and refill it again. But I don't know if I'll be getting out into it again this year. Not unless I put some type of a solar heater to it.
Well, now you can get a solar blanket.
Yeah. And I used to have one. It is from my old swimming pool that I had here, but it's all worn out and shot, so I got rid of it.
Good morning, Rosanna.
Hi, Rosanna.
It's 7:30, Rosanna. By the time you got up, there's John.
Now, Rosanna, how many people are in chat, Kim?
It says 5. John and Rosanna just came in.
Okay, well, you guys got to keep your mouth shut on this. You can't tell anybody. I created myself another account, and I'm getting banned from all the chats with it. It's called Butt Bacon.
Well, imagine wonder why.
I got banned from Iron Dog's room with that name this morning.
Okay, John, I understand. He said he's got to keep his phone open for his work to call him. And I understand.
Okay.
Thank you for coming in. You're still giving me the watch time, so that's great. And I watched your video the other day that you wasn't for sure how the storm was going to be, if he was going to lose power or whatever. By looking at the map, which I can't tell that much, it don't look too bad. They said it dropped down to category 2 or 3. Still a lot of wind though.
It will still be wet.
Yeah. But John lives inland.
Yeah, but he'll still get, category 3 is still pretty nasty. I mean, it's not to the point where it starts destroying stuff, but horribly bad, but it's still pretty wicked.
Well, I'm not educated enough and I don't want to know. I know that San Juan, Puerto Rico, they missed it. We went on a cruise like 2 weeks after that big one hit San Juan, tore the heck out of it. And they got the airport up and running. And we flew into San Juan, no problem there. And they took us by bus from the airport to the ship. And usually you have to pay for that transport. They did that for free. And they didn't have any electric for stoplights and stuff like that. And that driver said, "This is crazy." Of course, he said, here people drive crazy anyhow. So they was just like home there. But we had a great tour guide or bus driver. I made a video on him. But you would think, well, they've got a lot of masonry buildings. It didn't matter. It tore the heck out of them masonry buildings, like concrete blocks or cement poured walls, It still tore them up because things would bash into it and break it. Then we got on the ship and we went to another town. And I can't remember what the name of that town was, but it was fine. They missed it completely, Are you froze up, Grizz? Hello? Yeah. There he is.
I'm here, aren't I?
You was froze up for a minute.
Oh, I was reading chat over there.
Oh, well, there's nothing to read.
Yeah, I see that. A lot of those block buildings there in like the San Juan Islands and stuff, even out here on the West Coast, a lot of the older buildings like that, they didn't fill the cores up with concrete or anything. So yeah, they do break pretty easy. Oh.
But I don't know if anybody got hurt in it, but south of town, and it's been years ago, we had a hurricane go through a little town, and the name of it is Allendale, Illinois. And it totally destroyed that whole town.
Wow.
There was a few places didn't get hurt where they could repair. But now you go down there and it's like a brand new town. Everybody is pretty much, they bring in a modular home or something. It's quicker and easier,
Mm-hmm.
But when they put this carport in, Grizz, the only way that they anchored it they took rebar and they welded like a nut and they drove it down in the ground. That's all they did. Had holes,
Uh-huh.
and they drove it down the ground. So I bought these. Oh, you're going. I'll go ahead and talk if you can still hear me. I bought these anchors that screw in the ground. There you come back. Let me get you back up here.
Whoops.
There you go. But anyhow, I bought these anchors that they screw in the ground, but you couldn't screw them in the ground because there was gravel and it was real hard. Well, I dug a hole in 4 different places, 2 on each side, and I don't know, 2 or 3 foot. No, not that deep. A good 18 inches. They was that long. And I dug a hole and I'd have to use a rod that was pointed, and jab it down there and crumb it out. And I fastened it to the ground or fastened it to the bottom of the carport. And then I put the gravel and everything back in. And they said over a period of time that would settle and get rock hard again.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had any trouble. So, if it does blow away, it's not going to blow them anchors out.
Now, yeah.
Of course, I got 10 foot of loft in the back with a lot of weight on it. So it can't blow that away very handy. It could,
Mm-hmm. No, I see those screw anchors that you're talking about that you're supposed to drill them into the ground. But if it's hard ground, I've tried using those and they don't work if it's really hard ground.
Well, like I said, I just dug a hole and I kept jabbing it and put it out on the ground, and then I put it all back in there.
Yeah,
and,
you know what I've done in play? I've done something similar to like what you've done, but what I did was a little bit different. I dug a hole, then I took some galvanized chain, and I dangled that down in the hole, and through the chain I took some pieces of rebar about 8-10 inches long, and I'd put them through the rebar, the rebar through the chain that was hanging on down there. About 3 or 4 of these angling different ways. And I could have filled it in with gravel and packed it on in, but what I did was I poured concrete back on in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let me tell you what an old man told me. I went to a job site and he was setting posts. And he was putting road pack around his post. And I questioned it. He said, if you take and put concrete, a lot of times people around here, they'll just buy concrete mix and pour it in there dry. Okay. Well, the problem with that is it won't let water drain from your post and it'll rot the post out. Okay.
But I know where you're going with that. I wasn't using wood, and I was just using steel down in there.
Even at that, I got you. But here's what I'm getting at. You put the road pack in there and it's loose. And it's not like concrete mix. It don't set up. So as time goes and you're working on the building and you're rocking it, it just keeps settling and it just gets tighter than what you know. And it doesn't, if you put concrete around a post, not what you're talking about, but if you put concrete and it gets hard, what'll happen is as it works, it's hard, it'll waller out a hole. So you don't have that holding power.
Well,
you got water retaining around that wood post and it will rot that out.
Yeah, what ends up happening is the wood is still going to get wet, it has no room to expand and contract. So when it gets wet, it starts swelling, but it can't swell, so it compresses. And then as that wood dries on out, it shrinks. And when it shrinks, now it's loose. More water can get in there. More bugs can get in there. Dirt that's going to end up rotting out your post in time. So you're absolutely right. I don't like seeing people pour concrete around, even if it's pressure treated wood. Pressure treated the 4x4 will rot out in about 3 years' time to using concrete.
Exactly. I bought some cedar split rail fence. Cedar. Okay. Not supposed to rot, right?
Right.
I can't remember if I put dirt or concrete mix, and I probably put concrete mix at that time. Well, things changed, and I wanted to move the post anyhow. That rotted away down like a toothpick. I mean, it rotted down to a point.
Yep.
So from then on, I always use, and if I don't have a road pack, I'll just buy chat, which is a rock. That's what we call it here. But road pack has got that dust in it, and it makes it settle better.
Yeah.
And as time goes, and of course, you're working on the building, climbing around, you're wiggling it, and you're just making it better all the time while you're working on it.
You know what helps if a person doesn't have that road pack is if you just take some 3/4 minus gravel, which packs really tight. And that lets the water dispel, from there. If you take some wood ash and mix some wood ash in with your gravel, because that's a bug repellent in itself. That makes a huge difference too.
Absolutely. But I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, because you don't have this kind of rock in your area probably.
No.
But it's limestone and it's jagged. And we call it that. And see, you don't want to use road gravel because it's round and it don't get solid. But the chat, it's jagged. So it just works real good. Now, I hear Kevin up there, Idaho Hillbilly, he talks about that shell rock. They put it on roads, but it's hard on tires.
Yeah, those are on the logging roads. So I put the logging roads up here. Well, the shell rock is usually used for a road base. Even up here, around here, they use the shell rock for the road base. Shell rock is a softer rock than your typical 3/4 minus. But they put we use a shell rock for our road bases here, and then they put 3/4 minus over the top of that. The shell rock keeps it, when it gets really wet, pumping on into the mud, from sinking. It kind of bridges it over the dirt, and then we put that the 3/4 minus crushed rock over the top. It has a lot of fines. It packs in really good.
Well, when I was working, I always had access to a little ton truck with a dump. And, I would catch it when we had a delivery in the area. I'd just run by the gravel pit and get a bucket of gravel, come by the house and dump it out, and then work with it later, So I had access to road pack, or gravel or chat, for my driveway. I didn't use road pack for my carport inside, but I had access to chat that I put on the base of my carport before I put it. So I'd go by and get a ton or two and take the truck home and back in there and just rake it out with the rake, and spread it a little at a time before they put the carport up, because they wanted the lot level. Hello,
Mhm.
Robert. Good
Yeah,
morning.
now when you're talking about that road rock, are you talking about something like 3/4 a crushed rock?
I'm thinking it's the same thing. Yes.
Yeah, I think so, because that stuff packed really good. I mean, I put, when I built my road coming on up here, I put 6 inches of that crushed rock on down. That was 20 years ago, and you've seen what my driveway is, right? It's packed hard.
Oh yeah.
And the water runs down it. It don't even hardly do any damage to my road.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. My boss before the one that is there now, he always bought that. It's called oversized rock. Well, the problem of it is they're great big rocks like that, and they're round. They don't pack. So then a guy I used to work for or with, he called them ankle breakers. And then they started buying chat. And it's probably what you're talking about, 3/4 crushed stone. But here we call it chat. And we started buying a load, and spreading it. And they finally got the idea, okay, buy it, have it shipped in, and get a whole dump truck load, and then spread it when you have the time with. At the time, we had a backhoe,
Yeah. Yeah, that round.
Perfect. 1, 2, 3. Good morning to you.
That those bigger rocks like that, they will pack, but they need more fines on in it. Smaller stuff in there to pack it on in. So I mean, like you can get 3/8 pea gravel here, and it's clean. It's washed. It's 3/8. It's a little tiny rock.
Don't pack.
But it won't pack at all. We can get 3/4 inch 3/4 crushed rock that's washed. No fines are on in it, and that stuff won't pack either, or not very well. It kind of packs, but not very well. You need all the fines on in there, the dirt, the debris on in there for it to be able to pack.
Exactly. But when I call it chat, like I'm saying, it's not perfect. It's jagged.
Yeah.
And it'll just work down into the clay and the mud, and it'll just pack in there hard.
Yeah, the best thing though with that, you're saying it worked down in the clay and the mud. The best thing for that to that, because in time that will keep on pumping on down there, and you'll need to keep on adding more rock, every 5-10 years or whatever. You keep on having to build it up. If you put a road base down first of the big rock,
well, now that's what he did. That is exactly what he did. And then you put the semis running in there, and boy, it just packed it hard.
Yep.
That yard down there is about like concrete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you put a good road base down, a 6-inch rock, 4-inch rock, whatever, bigger rock the better, and that stuff will not sink in the mud. Then it's likely it almost bridges it over. But in order to keep that working, you have to cover it with a 3/4 minus. 6 inches of that, and then it packs it in like concrete, and you got a dang good road.
Hello, Big Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Here, let me post the link there.
Let's see here. I gotta see who's all coming on in here now.
Dad Perfect and Robert.
Hey, Robert and Dad Perfect, how you doing?
And Rosanna. Says we got 5 people watching right now.
Yeah. Bring my window up. That way I can see if I get dropped out again.
Here comes Big Steve. Watch out.
Oh, no, not him. I'm out of here. Hey, Steve.
You just better watch it, old man, because I'm liable to storm right up to my room again.
Punk. You little punk.
That's it. I'm telling Mom.
Hey, did you see the video? Did I see the video I put out on you?
No. Do I need to go look and then write my death list?
I'm not on the Troll 440 channel.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I heard that was you. I thought it was Fat Boy 440 because of the 440 and the way the voice sounded.
That's why I did that. That's why I put the 440 in there so it'd lead people away from me.
Yeah. Now you see, that's deceiving.
Well, you know what? If you're going to be a troll, you got to be deceiving.
That's deceitful. God's gonna punish you.
yeah, but we're gonna have fun. We won't be alone.
You need to dig for yourself. I was gonna suggest that.
And I just got back from the DMV. I had to go do something over there for my mom, and so I have to go again on Tuesday or whatever.
Is that your grandma I hear yapping in the background?
Yeah. So basically, I got to go back to the DMV and I got to turn in a transfer/duplicate title for my mom because the original owner of the car lost the title. Excuse the barking.
You can talk over that dog. That
Yeah,
dog
it's kind of annoying. It's annoying to other people and
okay,
stuff.
so the previous owner lost the title.
Yeah, lost the title, gave the car to my mom. So now I just have to turn in the duplicate title paper and a statement of facts, and I should be able to get her done. Sucks though.
Did you see, and I don't know when it's supposed to be, they're going to add another gender on your driver's license. You can put male, female, and I don't remember how they worded it, but something else.
Other?
Well, it's not other.
You're not gonna eat this. It's so hot.
Can you
Cross
believe
gender.
that? Yeah. In other words, if you're like that, you can put whatever you want. You don't have to put male or female. Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. I don't know what's wrong with. I mean, if a male wants to identify as a female, that's up to them. That's their life. But you're still a male. What's wrong with putting down, "Hey, I'm a male. I identify as a female," but what's wrong with just saying, "Hey, I was born a male"?
Well, hey, those transmissions, man, they don't want to be called male anymore.
And that's fine. Put down female. We had a gentleman here, real nice guy, but what do you got?
Take a bite. Come on, take a bite.
Hash brown,
Chicken.
chicken,
Half pound.
hash brown. But
Oh,
anyhow,
that's right.
he was an electrician, very sharp at electrician. Now, when he worked, he had pants and what have you, but when he went out, he wore a dress and carried a purse and all that. That's fine. He didn't sit at my table, so whatever he wants to do is fine.
Yeah, you know, if somebody wants to live that lifestyle, it doesn't bother me. But still, I believe that you're born a male, he should, on your legal documents, say, "Hey, I'm a man." You know, I mean,
But if you want to say you're female, then that should be your right. Now, I don't have a problem with that.
well, it's saying it in a context like here, somebody pops up here and they say, "Hey, I'm a female," and he's wearing a dress and stuff, and it's some guy. You know, live whatever life you want. But when it comes to legal documentation, you know, I mean, hey, I think we're going too far.
Probably.
I mean, hey, let's face it. I mean, I want to identify myself not as male or female. I want to identify myself as an alien, you know, from Mars or something. You know, I mean, and they don't give me that legal option to do. You know, why do we got to create these legal options for special people that have this little whim that they want to go on, try to be recognized as being normal, because it ain't normal. You know, you can do it, live your life the way you want, but that's not who you are.
Well, okay, Grizz. I don't want to live like that. But they should have the right to what they want to do. If they're not bothering anybody, they're not harming children or other people, then that's fine.
Right.
That's fine. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Oh, I don't either. You know, don't have no problem with that. I just don't think we need a legal identification for them, though.
No, I mean, if they're a man and they want to put on their driver's license that they're a woman and dress as such, that's their American right. They can do that.
Well, then in that particular case, I agree with what you're saying. On that particular case, then let's remove the identification of whether a person is male or female then on the driver's license. Don't put another alternative on there. Just remove it. There's don't ask. I'm just right. I'm Stan Williams. When text, oh yeah, it doesn't matter.
Someone said that they was trying to get that removed altogether, just like what you said.
I mean, quite honestly, I honestly believe that when it comes to a legal issues, I believe that they ought to remove from the legal aspect marriage. I don't believe the government should be involved in marriage whatsoever. You know, judges should not be performing marriage. You know, marriage is a religious ceremony. You know, so if you want to get married, there shouldn't be no tax breaks for it or nothing like that. I mean, that way it solves the issue with gay marriage.
Well, see, I think they got that marriage part wrong. You can go get your marriage certificate for like $20-$30.
That's right.
I think that when you go get your marriage license, you should have to pay like $60,000 for your marriage license and put that in a trust. And then when you get divorced, just give it to her.
See,
Right
at least Grizz don't have nothing to worry about. He didn't already cut that thing off.
Like that one guy said, I'm not going to get married no more. Every 10 years, I'm going to see if I can find some woman I don't like and buy her a house.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, and to clear this all up, this is not the case with Pam. I love her dearly. I hope I keep her forever and ever until God finds different.
Yeah. Oh,
She's,
you got a good woman there.
she's a keeper.
Yep.
I actually don't deserve her. I mean, she's too good for me.
Kim's not worthy.
I'm not. I'm not. I mean to tell you, it was God sent that I found Pam. I'll tell you what. And I've
Hey.
tried very hard to make her happy. What we got now? Pancakes?
Pancakes.
What are you holding over the top of them?
Syrup.
Oh,
I'm just eating this because my sister brought it to me. She said, she came in and said, "Hey, Bruce, you want some breakfast?" And I said, "Yeah, sure."
yeah. Like, oh no, throw that shit away.
Yeah, that's not even in my vocabulary.
Yeah. Hey, I went fishing last night, Big Steve and Grizz.
Yeah, how many tuna fish did you catch?
I caught 4 pieces of white fish and
At
coleslaw
Aldi's?
and hush puppies, or no, yeah, coleslaw, hush puppies, and fries. Captain D's.
See, Grizz is so good at fishing, he can sneak up to the lake and just snatch a fish right out the water.
Yeah, but
The
Steve,
way
I'm too lazy for that.
when I go fishing, I like to troll.
Oh, you just look at that syrup dripping. Oh man.
You know, I troll when I'm catfishing. I take a string and tie it to my back bumper, put a hook through a mouse, and I drag it down the road.
Do you,
You know,
catch
you
any
are-
fish?
What's that?
Do you ever catch any fish?
Oh, I catch lots of catfish that way.
Oh, cat.
You are a terrible man, Grizz.
Aren't I though?
But I love that Captain D's fish. I'm not
Yep.
for sure what kind of fish it is. It's not catfish. It's probably perch, but boy, it's snow white fish.
Perch are good eating.
Okay, Robert said I had the best fish and chips yesterday. They were at the Bow Picker in Asteria. That's in Oregon. I was there. That's a cool little town.
Oregon.
Yeah, Astoria is a pretty nice town.
Astoria. That's where I always wanted to visit because of that movie, The Goonies.
I wished I'd have knew that, Steve, when I was there.
Yeah, but see, Kim, you wouldn't have been able to go up to the house because the owners of the house don't want nobody coming up there no more. And they've went public about it too.
I did eat fish there though. We went to this I don't know, it was some kind of a warehouse made into a restaurant bar. And it's pretty cool. And they got it's built over the water, and they got this platform when you go in, it's like a piece of hard plastic where you can see down in the water, and they got a platform down there. And I asked them what was the deal with that, and they said that sea lions come up underneath there and set underneath there. You can't feed them or anything because it's closed in. But of course there wasn't none while we was there. But boy, it was good fish.
That's pretty cool, them having that sort of a decoration inside the place, though, being able
Yeah.
to look. You know?
Well, when you park the car, you're on land. And then you kind of walk across the bridge onto like a, I don't know if it floats or if it's just like a dock. But that's where the warehouse was built, over there on top of the water. Yeah, Rosanna, that was a good place to eat. And Pam got one of these samplers of beer. I didn't like any of them. I tried each and every one of them, but I just don't like that dark beer.
There goes Grizz. Grizz's birds are calling and cooing away. We had neighbors over here, Kim, that had roosters and chickens and other birds, and the neighbors all around, they just hated the neighbors.
Okay, let me read this for you, Big Steve. Robert said, we did try to go to the house, and they don't want you there. They have signs posted. And he says, we are headed to Long Beach, Washington today, and still staying in Astoria, and then heading back home to Idaho tomorrow. Well, have a great trip, Robert. I wished I was there when you was there. We could have met up. Let me post this link again, Robert. If you want to come up, come on up. There's the link.
That really sucks about the Goonies house, but I understand why. They just had too many fans coming up to the house, you know, and taking pictures and trying to peek inside the house and actually knocking on the door and talking to the owner. Yeah, and they were like, can we come in? Can we come in and see the house?
Oh, you're kidding.
They just got tired of it. So they got signs around the place now that says, look at it from the street. That's the only thing you can do.
Well, you know, that would be fun. They can't keep you from looking from the street and filming.
And there's the house is famous for having one of those outdoor porches that goes all the way around the house, you know? And so what the owners of the house have done now is they've screened off the front porch. So there's a big part of the house you can't even see because the owners covered it.
I understand. Okay, Robert. Robert says, I would come up, but we're getting ready to head out. And I understand that, Robert, because we have busy schedules, but just keep that in mind. You're always welcome. If somebody comes on my live stream and they behave themselves like Big Steve and Grizz, you are welcome on our panel.
Hey, hold on now. Don't underestimate me and Grizz.
I know it. I know it.
Steve, behave himself. Say it ain't true.
Yeah, he's been good.
Say it ain't so. I'm not as bad as the guys people make me out to be, Grizz. I just got a loud mouth. I talk too much. That's all. That's it. I admit that.
Yeah, you do open your mouth and disappear quite a bit.
Yeah.
Robert says you can't even see the house because they've let the trees grow up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, if I was going to live like that, I'd move.
Yeah, well, if you want to have real privacy, don't live in a movie house.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying, Kim? That house in Astoria that they filmed the Goonies is at, they used the whole house, meaning they filmed on the outside and they filmed on the inside of the house.
Well, we stayed at a retro hotel. I made a video, and you can see the hotel, and the name of the video is Bad Boys, because the cops went up there and got somebody out of the upper rooms. Anyhow, you go inside, and they've got these old refrigerators, an old microwave, you know, and they had a fan in there, and they had electric baseboard heaters, you know. And I looked around, and I went back to the office for something else, and I said, "Do you have air conditioner?" No, we don't have air conditioning here. We're on the West Coast, and we don't really need air conditioning. Okay. Hello, Brad.
They must have been smoking some of that stuff, because we do need air conditioning here in California.
Well, it was cool there, but we had the window open.
Hey, what's going
Hello,
on, Brad? Oh God, DMV papers. I hate DMV papers.
Here.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, sure. The registration's in there too, Kim.
I think you better keep them.
My mom would crap a brick if I lost those papers.
I'll tell you what I do with all that stuff like that, and they're not very expensive. I got this bar box, and I keep all papers like that. Now, I leave the key in it. All right. So all I'm worried about is in case of a fire, they don't burn up. I'm not worried about somebody picking up the fireball box and stealing it. Because if they need it that bad, they can have it, you know.
Now, see, I need a box like that for my jewelry. See, here's my jewelry box.
Oh, well, I got one of them.
How you doing, Grizz?
Look at this box. A man made this for me. And here's how he decorated the top.
Oh, I like that.
Little pieces of wood. And this is red oak.
Yeah.
All right. I can't get it to where you can see inside of it. I'll spill everything. But he brought that to me, and I told him, I said, that's exactly what I want. I said, I've got these like they're called flash drives, stuff like that. I got all kinds of stuff laying on the desk, and it's just perfect, you know. And I'm not worried about somebody stealing it. I don't want to clutter the desk as any worse than it is. But it's just perfect. And that made that guy's eyes just bright up and smile. And then I seen him later. I said, hey, that box is full. He said, you need another one? No, I don't need another one. I don't have enough room on the desk. But he cut them squares and put them in there. That's a combination. Let's see. I think that's red oak. I'm not sure. It's too white. It might be some kind of a pine. And walnut. The dark piece is walnut, and I'm thinking these lighter ones here are pine because it's a different color than the edge. I do know the edge is red oak, and then we routed it out to make a lead. Can you see that, Grizz?
Yeah.
And then that way, when you set it on there, and it fits perfectly. It's
Yeah,
quite
that white part, I couldn't see the wood, the grain of the wood, but that might be maple.
It could be. But the thing of it is, well, we don't have walnut. Oh, he could have stained it. He could have stained that real dark. Now what do you got, Grizz or Steve?
Gold ring.
Oh, all right. I got one right here.
Oh, nice. I love gold.
That's my wedding band.
Very nice. Should be on your finger now, boy.
Yep.
Check out my
I
my
tell you a story.
1989 World Series ring.
All right.
Oakland.
Jim?
About that when we got married in 2010, I was working, and I told her, I said, now we can get a wedding band, but I cannot wear it at work. I don't want to take a chance because I have to climb up and down off of trucks and stuff like that, and I don't want to take a chance of catching my finger. Because when I got married the first time, I jumped off of the truck and caught my wedding band and about tore my finger off. So I told her, I said, I won't do that. She said, that's fine. So then after I retired, I told her, I said, I would like to have a wedding band now. I'm not working. She said, well, you don't have to. I said, no, I seen a real pretty one at Walmart. I would like to buy. I'd like to wear it. She said, are you having to beat the women off or what? No. I said, I'd just like to have a wedding band, but I was wanting to tell you instead of just buying it and not telling you ahead of time. No, she said, you buy anything you want and wear it. Okay. So I went and got this one. It's about $100, and I've been wearing it ever since.
Yeah, Walmart has some pretty cool jewelry.
Yep.
Well,
And I think this is 10 karat gold.
hey, Kim,
Yes, sir.
I gotta get my day started. I gotta get on out of here. So I want to say adios to y'all.
Yeah. Well, it's coming up on 10:30, and this is Fish Friday. I'm gonna have to go get my cell phone and get my lunch ordered.
There you go. Okay, we'll catch y'all later.
Okay.
Bye.
Brad said, time to go shopping. All have a great day. But anyhow, you know, I bought her an engagement ring and a wedding band, and that was in 2010. So I decided, well, the thing was that while I was working, no, I didn't want to wear one. Well, now I'm not working, I want one.
That's funny when you said your wife said, "Are you having to fight off the women?" I would have been like, "Well, honey, yes, I am. They are coming at me from all directions, so I need that ring to ward them off, honey."
Well, I do a lot of talking to women, but not that way.
Oh boy, I'm dreading going back to the DMV on Tuesday morning. Got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and stand in line for 3 hours just so I can be in the front of the line so I can get in and get out.
Well, why do you go on Tuesday?
Well, it's going to be Labor Day Monday, right?
Yeah, well, ours is not ever open on Monday.
Well, ours is, but I don't think it's going to be open this Monday because it's Labor Day.
Right. Ours
So,
is never open on Monday. But what I'm saying is, me personally, I wouldn't go Tuesday because that's going to be the busiest day.
You're right, huh? But even then, if it's going to be the busy day, I'm still going to go at 5 o'clock in the morning and get first in line.
Okay. Well, ours will not open until 8 or 9 o'clock. And the way ours is set up, they have chairs in there, right? Then you go in, you grab a number and go sit down. Do you not have a number? Do they not have numbers?
No, ours is about the same.
Okay. Well, I can wait. If I got a place to sit down, I can wait.
Yeah, I can wait too. I just get really bored, so I bring my little Game Boy with me or something, my little handheld game, and then I can sit there and stay occupied. But I have to do it because my mom, she hates the DMV and she won't go. So she's like, son, you got to do this for me, son. And I'm like, all right, I'll do it for you, Mom.
Yeah, I don't have a problem when I go like that. A setting, not a problem.
Yeah, my mom just, she has trouble standing and stuff and even trouble sitting. So, she doesn't want to be standing there for hours and then be sitting down and her hips hurting, and she's sitting there looking like she's in pain. She doesn't want everybody to see that,
Right. Now, I don't have a problem setting because I have a big enough ass to set on. But yeah, sometimes my hip gets to hurting. And it's not really the one that they replace sometimes, it's the other one.
Yeah.
Well, Big Steve, I'm tickled to death that you come in here. And Rosanna, we love you. But like I explained to Grizz a minute ago, it's Fish Friday. So I'm going to have to get ready so I can go eat. Or go get it and come home and eat it. So I'm going to get off here, Steve. And just keep in mind, you're always welcome. And I was glad I got a chance to get in your chat the other day. I let it go. Even though I was not talking to you, I let it run for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But if you're not monetized, but maybe someday you will.
I don't know. Probably not. I mean, unless my life becomes really hard. But even then, it would be for pennies on the dollar anyway. So,
well, I know. But I've got, I figured it up the other day. It's been over 2 years, but I've made $600. All right, I'm going to get off here.
All right, buddy. Thanks for having me on, man.
Bye, all.
See ya.